told this story under an alternative account I use for hobbies, but I cut and pasted it here. It's one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. This happened a long time ago, back in 1989. I hope I can tell the story in a way that conveys just how bad this scared me. I still don't know what it really was, or what happened, so I make no claims as to the explanation. I still think about this sometimes. I was 19 years old, and I was working in an after-school care programme that was run out of a small church in the rural southern town where I lived. The church was really small and in the shape of an L. The door was at the top of the L, the sanctuary was at the elbow, and there was another door at the short end of the L. There was also a full basement that was furnished and used for Sunday school rooms, and it was where the kids from the after-school programme did homework and played games sometimes. There were only about 12 or 13 kids in the programme most of the time. I think one time we swelled to something like a whopping 17. Because the church was small and the community was small, there were no aspirations to have a large programme. The entire thing was really just to provide a service to the parents in the church. Anyway, what I would do every weekday was attend community college classes in the morning. Then I'd go straight from classes to the church and work on homework or read until the kids were dropped off by the school bus. I usually had between 2.5 hours either completely alone in the church, or sometimes the pastor would stop by and work in his office. But mostly, I was alone. I never heard or saw anything at all, and I was locked inside the building so no one could come in. Even when the kids are there, the door stayed locked for safety. I did this for a full year and a summer, and then the second year, my best friend at the time came to work with me. She and I were both pretty serious kids, in the same sense that we didn't drink or do drugs. We weren't into anything occult or spooky, just normal young girls who went to college classes. One day, not too long after she started working with me, I had the kids in the basement playing games while some of them worked on homework. The deal was that one of us would prepare snacks in the kitchen upstairs, while the other one entertained the kids. She was upstairs, making the snack, when all of a sudden, I heard the door at the top of the basement stairs open, and she came running down the stairs, calling my name. I could hear the fear in her voice, so I met her at the bottom of the stairs, and she was scared. She's not one to be dramatic at all. I've never seen her scared before, and I'd known her since the 8th grade. I asked her what was wrong, and she said in a trembling voice that she'd heard someone in the sanctuary. I said, "What? No way. We're here by ourselves. It must just be your imagination." But she was adamant. She heard someone upstairs in the sanctuary, and she was scared to death. Again, I told her she must be mistaken, and she said, "I'm not kidding. There's somebody up there moving around in the sanctuary, and I saw something. I don't know what it was." The sanctuary in the elbow of the L-shaped church was right beside the kitchen where she'd been preparing a snack. I was a brave kid, and I had more bravery than brains at the time, and I told her to stay in the basement with the kids, and that I was going to go up and check it out. That scared her as well. She told me not to go. It really was a stupid thing for me to do, because if someone had been up there, I could have been attacked, and I really wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But anyway, I went up to the top of the stairs. I stuck my head out the door, and first made sure no one was in the hallway. Next, I checked all of the Sunday school rooms down the long arm of the L, along with the pastor's office. I found nothing, so by this time, I was sure she'd heard the wind. It was full and windy, or maybe she'd heard the foundation of the building settle, and it had spooked her. Next, I checked the bathrooms at the short end of the L and made sure that all of the doors to the building were locked. No one had come into the building since we got here, and the doors had been locked when I arrived that day, so I was absolutely sure we were alone. Next, I walked up to the door of the sanctuary I looked through the small window at the top of the door and saw nothing. There was a row of pews on each side of the sanctuary, a pulpit up front, and on the left side of the pulpit was a closed door that led to the choir area. So I opened one of the doors and I walked into the sanctuary. Slowly, I made my way up about halfway of the pews. Then I stopped and looked around. Everything was dead silent. I said, "Hello? Is anybody there? Hello?" And just as I finished saying that, the door to the left-hand side of the pulpit slowly swung all the way open. I can't really put into words the feeling that hit my body. The blood drained out of my torso and into my legs, which both tried to run and were bolted to the floor at the same time. A jolt of adrenaline surged through my body, and at the same time, I felt like I was moving in slow motion. As I turned, I bolted out the sanctuary and ran down the stairs, yelling to the kids to get out the building. We got the kids out back and debated what to do. This was a time before cell phones, so one of us still had to go back inside and call the pastor to come down, or we all had to stand outside and wait for a parent or someone from the church to come by and check things out, which could be a very long time. I went back inside, I went to the pastor's office and quickly used the phone to call this house. I asked for someone to come by. When the church was searched, nothing was found, and everyone thought we had overactive imaginations. Like I said in the beginning, I make no claims as to what opened that door, or what my friend heard, but something or someone was in that church with us that day, and I never felt comfortable alone in there again. Like what you heard? Hit subscribe and like the video for more stories every Thursday and Sunday between 1800 and 2000 BST. And remember, curiosity opens doors better left closed.